For a look at how tariffs are impacting retail sales, let's bring in Isaac Cohen. He's president and CEO of Invaway, a DC-based Western Hemisphere business development company. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
So, Isaac, we've seen some iconic U.S. retailers fall by the wayside, like Toys R Us, and then you also see this strong performance now from Walmart, really thriving. So, which sectors of retail would you say are doing the best and the worst at the moment?
Well, what I see is that in the case of Walmart, it's extraordinary because it's the produce section that is generating the highest sales, which is extraordinary because you usually associate Walmart with, clothing and other stuff. But in this case, it's produce, which means that Walmart is successfully competing with Whole Foods, other Amazon, other outlets as well. So I guess that's positive, and it reveals, that the U.S. consumer is still active and still spending strongly and sustaining the recovery.
Now, as we know, tariffs are here and more are on the way. And the National Retail Federation, which is the largest retail federation in the world, issued a statement saying that the tariff threat to the U.S. economy was less a question of if and more about when and how bad. So how are retailers feeling about this? Well,
they are very concerned because tariffs mean that products are going to go up. The prices of everything will go up. And we're seeing it already, with steel and aluminum. Both going up because of tariffs. You have any product that contains steel or aluminum going up in price. And it is true, you protect the aluminum and the steel industry with the tariff, but everybody that consumes aluminum and steel has to pay for it because tariffs are taxes, and taxes are paid by the consumer. So we are going to, the concern by the retailers is fair because what they're saying is you guys are going to force us to increase our prices, and consumers will reduce demand as a result of that.
Now, it's interesting because even though a lot of people at home may hear about the tariffs, they may not be feeling it in their pocketbooks. How soon do you think they're going to start feeling the effect of these tariffs?
Very soon. Take automobiles, for instance, or take a can of beer or whatever, aluminum can, whatever. Those are going up immediately. So we're going to feel it very soon. And if this continues to other products, the same in the case of China. They're going to increase, for instance, tariffs on soybeans. So this means that food is going to go up in China. So it's bad for everybody, for the consumer particularly.
So for retailers who are trying to figure out their strategy, what are they thinking of doing right now, especially amid all this uncertainty?
Well, I think some are hoping that there's going to be some kind of negotiations in order to overcome this tic-tac that we're witnessing. Tit for tat, I would say. But the point is that we are not seeing many signs of that, except for recent news where you start looking at the possibility that there may be a negotiation coming.
Now, what about e-commerce retailers? Is their challenge any different from the brick-and-mortar retailers with this?
Well, it depends on the products, really. But I guess the e-commerce retailers are just as exposed as the brick and mortar. It's the same, because the prices are going to go up as a result of these taxes.
Now, we did say that the National Retail Federation's chief economist, while he upgraded the forecast, he did highlight these uncertainties that could weigh on them in the fall, including the trade war and then higher than expected inflation due in part to rising oil prices. What do you see as the biggest headwinds for the retail industry?
Well, the idea of inflation is very important because we're already seeing the prices of gasoline going up, of course, and that hurts in the pocketbook for everybody. And everybody that works, 90% of people that work in the United States drive, and consequently they're going to have to pay more for gasoline, and that's very inflationary because that permeates the whole economy. So you have inflation on one hand, and then these tariffs. I am hopeful that we are going to see by the end of the summer some kind of negotiation happening in order to avoid the worst consequences of this.
Now, as we know, consumers right now feeling very confident, so obviously retailers are benefiting, and that's really also helping the economy. How do we see that trickling down once that consumer confidence starts to wear off?
Definitely, it means a decrease of demand, and consequently less growth in the U.S. economy. That's what's happening. We've had some spectacular numbers for one of the quarters, the last quarter, more than 4% growth. But if we start seeing a compression of demand, then we're going to see a reduction in economic growth.
All All right. Thank you, as always, for your insights. Isaac Cohen there, President and CEO of Invaway LLC.